Hey world, what's good? It's your boy LG and I'm back with a special edition of the NBA Takeover. Instead of me going through like game by game, I wanted to give you guys a recap because I am like so far ahead in the series. So I just wanted to do a little bit of a recap video for you guys to let y'all know what happened, because we're going to be doing a little bit of fast forwarding. Just for story's sake. All right. Last episode that you guys saw was Noble, where I was talking with Kaz Cray, and he was invited to the game to see how we operate because he's going to be playing in the NBA next season. So there are some people that don't remember that I had control of multiple teams at one point, and because of the SJWs convincing everything, we had to start over and earn our second team spot. So the goal is to make the postseason. If we make the postseason, we have control of a second team, but we want to do more than that. We want to just win. So what we've done is we've talked with other content creators that were not available the first time around, and I've been getting them, and they said they wanted to join in our initiative to take the NBA back to its rightful place, and I'm grateful for that. So last episode was with Kaz Cray, and we just decimated the Bulls, no question. Okay, and it's something that we've been doing like all season. It's just legit been decimating teams. It's been crazy. So keeping with that going, we've actually ended up playing Cavaliers next here. Cavaliers was the next game that we saw, and we ended up just decimating them 137-15. Shagsworth did a good job with 22 points. Riddler, actually, aka Garrett Thompson, he has been doing a hell of a good job over the season, averaging some crazy points. Last game was 35 on this one, and you'll see more later. But yeah, we just decimated the Cavaliers, and we've just been going in crazy. Then we ended up going against the Magic and just tearing them apart there as well, 148-99, with just in dominant fashion. Spades doing his thing, showing up with 23 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists. That following week, we ended up going against the Pelicans. Pelicans were easy fodder almost for us. It was almost too easy, beating them 136-99. Let's look at the score here. Spades, it was more of a concentrated effort with this. Like we do well. Like it's not like one of those teams where we have like that one guy that always stands out. We have like people that can stand out in different spurts depending on the situation, which is kind of a, some people would say it's a bad thing, but I consider it a blessing, because if, say for example, if one person underperforms, the rest of the team can do well. And to be honest, if you got multiple people scoring in the double digits of points, like you got Spades, Uncle Witch both scoring 18, Riddler and my scoring 17 points, I'm scoring 14, and I'm getting 22 plus assists a game, I think we're doing okay. I think we're doing pretty much all right. Next game, going against the Warriors, right? Going against the Warriors with this hella matchup. It was a little bit of a crazy matchup. It started close at first, but we ended up just pulling away near the end, and we ended up getting a hell of a lead here. Just pulling away. You love to see it. And I think the end of the final score with that was 138-105. Just pulling away at the end, us doing our thing. And I'm telling you, Riddler just been pulling out all the stops with 29 points, 12 rebounds. And I love it. Orazio doing his thing. Once again, we have a nice little bench too that can just pop up whenever we need it. Especially people like Night Robbie doing his thing and, showing up, when we need him for the most part. And it's been it's a blessing to have a really deep team. So next game was actually one of the games of the week, going against the Boston Celtics. And this game was a little bit of a tough one. Well, at least at first anyway. But one of the things about the Boston Celtics is you cannot count them out. And this team, we ended up doing a hella good job though. We ended up holding our own throughout the season, and we ended up winning 131-96. Yeah, 131-96 was the final score of that one, with just points all around. 22 points for Arezio, 21 for Shagsworth, 24 for Riddler. I had 15, but I had 25 assists. Next game was the doozy though. We were going against the LA Lakers, and that one was a bit of a barn burner. We were doing okay at first. We was, taking care of business as per usual. Then things started getting a little bit close near the end, and I'm telling you, it was crazy. It got so crazy indeed, to the point where, we ended up going into overtime, but we ended up pulling through at the end, 128-125. Riddler with 28 points. I ended up carrying with 16 points and 22 assists. Night Robbie 15 points. It was a little bit of a sparse showing from everybody, but we ended up pulling through. We'll take those. Next up was the Jazz, and I think this one was the easy one here. We ended up just decimating the team here. 120-82, the final score. This was the game that Riddler said he had something to prove, and by golly did he. Good Lord. 63 points for this man. This man was showing out, y'all. 63 points, 8 rebounds, and it was just nuts. Looking into everything here as we take a quick little break from the game notes, we were looking at the votes for the All-Star game, and because of that, that's when Riddler got into the top 7 for the front court votes because of his last game's performance. So that got him in, and he was like, hey, he wanted to be in the All-Star game. He wanted to show his presence, and by golly, he did. Next game was the Dallas Mavericks, the I-35 rivalry. As we did our thing, that rivalry was pretty much dealt with. And as we took care of business on that game, the score ended up being 124-104 us. And we've just been murking these teams, man. This is one of the favorable situations when you build a team where, everything just starts to go your way. Moving on, we got the next game going against the Washington Wizards. Easy stuff, easy business to take care of. We ended up taking care of business there. Looking at the notes, the final score being 139-90. 32 points for Riddler and 10 rebounds. Going against the Phoenix Suns, ended up murking them with a very high scoring game on both ends, actually. The final score being 173-136. That was a high scoring game for real. Good God. Riddler with 34 points, Shagsworth 26 and 10 assists, actually. That was actually a shocker there. Spades with 23. Disparity actually putting up some points as well. Once again, coming off the bench. It's always good to have that good bench performance. That's one of the things I love about our team, and I kind of worked with our team to have good performance, being able to come off the bench. Next game going against Sacramento, and this game right here was a bit of a disappointment. Sacramento was killing us the entire game, and it was tough. It was tough. We thought we had something coming in the third quarter, but second half coming in, and we were close, definitely close, but they ended up pulling away. And I'll let you look at the last part of this to figure this part out. How did he steal that? How the fuck did he steal that shit, bro? Bro? Ain't no motherfucking way. How did he steal that?
What a performance they have here at home today.
Oh my God, bro. I'm mad, dog. Yeah. It was definitely not fun. Definitely not fun. Losing the game 132-129. Believe it or not, that was only our second loss. Only our second. It was definitely not one of our best games, but can't say anything too bad because we did put an effort in there. Night Robbie showed up with 36 points, and Riddler with 29, Shaxworth with 16. And it wasn't too bad. We could have done better. We could have held on at the end of the game, but you know, shit happens sometimes. So the next game, boy, did we come back in a big way, and going against the Portland Trailblazers, and we dominated. I think we were just pissed about everything, and we just said, look, fuck it, we're gonna take matters into our own hands here. Ends up winning the game 165 to 155. Another high scoring game on both ends. So, but hey, a win is a win, and we'll take it. Definitely will take it. In that game, we had a big showing from Riddler. No surprise there. 38 points, 11 rebounds, a double-double also from Uncle Witch. 14 points, 10 rebounds, and it was just a lot of fun stuff. I had a double-double as well, 22 points, 19 assists. Next game, and this is coming up on that All-Star weekend stuff. We're going against the Hornets, and the Hornets game was, you know, taking care of business as usual for us, I want to say, because it was just nothing but craziness as we ended up winning 160, I believe. I think the score was, checking my notes here, I think the score is 160 to 113. Yep, there it is, 160 to 113. And you know, I ended up checking out for the rest of the game. I was like, man, we got this in the bag. we pretty much had it in the bag. Riddler with 33 points, 9 rebounds, 3 assists, and myself with 28 points this time and 16 assists. Shagsworth with 20. And the game number 2, right before we picked the captains of the All-Star weekend, we were going against the Heat, and this game was once again as business as usual, just silencing the crowd, silencing the critics, silencing the haters, silencing all of the bullshit, really, as we end up with the final score of 141 to 105, putting the league on notice, and we love to see it. Uncle Witch with 12 boards in the game, which was really amazing, actually. Riddler with 27 points, 8 rebounds. Spade showing up. That's what we wanted to see. One of our starters. He's been showing up, and I'm glad to see it, because it's been a little bit iffy for him. It's been a little bit on the weird side. But anywho, we ended up going with that. Picking the captains for the All-Star team, for the All-Star game here, as we take a quick little segue. It comes to find out that the All-Star captains have been announced, and unfortunately, I wasn't one of the captains. I was hoping to be, but I ended up being one of the reserves in the All-Star team, as well as Riddler. You know, blessing that we made it. So not too mad at that. So in the game before the All-Star weekend, February 13th, going against the Raptors, well, let's just say once again, business as usual, as we end the game on the highest of high notes here, 128 to 97, us dominant fashion win. And I believe Riddler was the player of the game for that, with 34 points, 13 rebounds, 3 assists. Shagworth 13 and 10, 13 points, 10 rebounds, double action. Uncle Witch almost had a double, 17 points, 9 rebounds. So All-Star weekend rolls around here, and this is where the fun begins, y'all. All-Star weekend, wasn't able to capture footage of the 3-point contest, but the winner of said 3-point contest, Night Robbie. And as we look at the slam dunk contest, though, it has been nothing but craziness. Everybody that showed up, that was selected for the dunk contest, was just wild, right? Ja Morant, Julius Erving, Riddler, it looks like Edwards, okay, Anthony Edwards, that's who the notes was. Okay, I'm looking at my notes wrong. It was Anthony Edwards, y'all. I do apologize. Coming in with the dub was Riddler, the slam dunk champion. I know he was happy as hell, but for it came down to All-Star weekend. All-Star weekend was a crazy one, and it ended up coming down to the last bit.
That was an enormous three-pointer.
Yes, sir. That's right. Your boy got the last shot of the game, the buzzer beater, and ends up getting the dub. We ended up winning 142-140. Riddler having 17 points. I had 31 points and 10 assists that game. So just putting the league on notice that I'm here and I'm not going nowhere. Moving on to the rest of the season, we didn't have a lot of games left after the All-Star break, so a lot of our games were before All-Stars, so we can kind of coast. And with our record at 19-2, I think it's safe to say that we were pretty much up there in the top rankings for everything. So I think we were okay. Next match was going against the Houston Rockets here, and we took care of business as usual. Final score ended up being 142-125, high scoring game. Next game going against the Nets, we ended up winning 149-132. No problems at all. Riddler with 31 points, 5 rebounds, and me with 21 points and 21 assists. Next game going against the Detroit Pistons. We talking Bad Boys Pistons with Isaiah Thomas, Bob Lanier, and even Rodman on team. And it was a little bit of a close one at first. I'm not gonna lie, it was close, first quarter, but by the second quarter we ended up just going in, tearing them apart. They tried to come back near the fourth quarter, but we just ended up winning. Like it was that was it. We just said, no, y'all not having this. 144-127 was the final score. Ace with 26 points, Arezio 21 points, me 19 points, 19 rebounds, 19 assists. Next game going up to New York. They tried to be a little rough with us first quarter. Second quarter they tried to keep it close. Try to even catch a lead in the second quarter. Just a little bit of a lead. But, like I said, as we buckle down, we beat down New York with the final score being 140-117. Now, it did come at a cost, though. This game did come at a very interesting moment here. We had a injury that happened on this game here. Riddler got injured with a bruised right hip. It was a hell of a tough injury for him to deal with. So once again, with the next game going against the Indiana Pacers, I ended up, since I had news that Riddler was injured, what I ended up doing was I didn't show up until the second half of the game because I was trying to make sure we were okay with Riddler, but coming in on the second half, they were up by at least 9 or 10. But we ended up buckling down near the end of the game, and we ended up winning 136-124. Riddler did get some recovery time, so we did get a chance to take him in, and we recovered him, make sure he was all right. And it was a good thing we have some solid doctors. So yeah, so he's back. With him being to 100%, we ended up playing our next game going against the Atlanta Hawks, and it was just a close match. It was definitely close once again at first, but we ended up pulling through 108-97. During this game, we also had another injury, Arezio with an unknown rib injury that we had no idea what was going on here. Now, after the game, we found out that the injury for Arezio was a collapsed lung. Yeah, and he was out for about 2 to 4 weeks. That was what the estimate was anyway. As I was taking him to the doctor, we went to our next game was in LA for going against the LA Clippers, and we ended up going into that game just dominating. We ended up having the final score 126 to 104 with that last buzzer beater at the end. Shagsworth with 27 points. After that, we got to the part where Arezio was healed, and we had him back in the lineup as we went against the Grizzlies. And in the fourth quarter, oh boy, it was crazy. Memphis thought they had us, and they were up. They were up for a bit, up 99-91 in the fourth quarter. But at the end of the game, we pulled in. It gave us just enough time for us to pull through. We ended up sealing the deal, 105-101. Memphis Grizzlies try to scrap with us, but they just can't hang with us, man. We got them. Interesting showing here from Riddler: 20 points, 10 rebounds. Myself, 18 points, 12 assists. Spades, 16 points, 1 rebound, 4 assists. Overall, pretty not bad performance. Orazio doing his thing, coming back in with 11 points. So yeah, we did not too bad. As the last game of the regular season comes to close, and we ended the season with 27-2. Now with the season awards, it ended up being like this here. I ended up winning MVP of the season because I ended up with 12.8 points a game, 20.2 assists. I think that was well deserving. We had Rookie of the Year, since all of us were considered rookies. Rookie of the Year was Riddler, who performed hella well. 26.5 points a game, 8.4 rebounds, just overall solid performance. Great. Night Robbie was our 6th man of the year, 13.9 points a game, 2.4 assists, and free throw percentage out the roof, and 3-point percentage was 65.9%, and being the league's 3-point champion, I think he deserved the 6th man of the year award. Defensive player of the year goes to Uncle Witch. He only had 9.1 points a game and 3.4 assists a game, but the man had 2.8 blocks a game and averaging 10 boards a game, and that was just amazing, solid on both ends of the court. Uncle Witch was definitely the anchor that held us together. Didn't score a lot of points, but he did a good job of rebounding and keeping everything together. Anthony Edwards was the most improved player, and Greg Popovich being coach of the year. All right, y'all, that's going to be it for the season recap. Next time, we're going to be talking about the postseason leading up to the NBA Finals. Will we make a run to the finals, or will we be eliminated? Who knows? We will recap you on the next one.
The Dynasty